First of all, what are you doing back here?
Very.
But anyway, that's all done.
Yeah.
My friend, Abby.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Shake your money, 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 shake your money.
I love Ty being the people's voice, asking Wally, why are you back? Why are you here? And then completely ignoring her. You can tell Ty doesn't like Molly. I don't know whatever she did. Molly, I don't think is a favorite of the participants in the villa, let alone the viewers. So I don't know why the producers brought her back. But anyway, it is what it is. Hey there, it's your girl Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, a comment, and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 10, Episode 29. In Ty's famous words, what are you doing back here? What is Molly doing back in the villa? Seriously. She has no impact on being there. They show her strutting off from Zachariah, and it's just like, okay, it is what it is. Mitch is in one corner. He's sort of chatting up to Abby, one of the blonde girl, and they seem to be getting along, although she name drops, and it's like, are you trying to impress Mitch with your background, or what is that? I didn't get that bit of telling him, oh, I grew up seeing Prince Harry, Prince William, and the Queen, and when people say it, it's a big deal to them, it's nothing to me, and it's like, don't name drop. Talk about your personality. Maybe you're a better match for Mitch since he's got no game. The two of you can be no game team in that corner. And then Gabby is chatting with Ty. They are flirting. Oh my God. Tyreek. He's flirting with Gabby. I think she's stunning. She sort of looks similar to Ella. So I can see her turning Ty's head. Although Ty is trying his best to be on his best behavior, but that will not stop him flirting. It is what it is. Ella knew what she was signing up for. And Sammy comes and sort of pulls Gabby. And it's like, why are you wasting Gabby's time? Allow Gabby to pursue connections that make sense. We've never seen you with anyone Gabby's type. So what suddenly changed? He does flirt with Gabby for a bit. Although, he wants to know who's her type and who her ranking and stuff. And she refuses, which I give her credit for. Don't rank anyone until you're in a couple with someone, because you don't want to block your opportunities, especially if you want to stay in the villa. And then Ty has to be messy. He went across to Abby and Molly and sort of asked Molly, what are you doing back here? He is right to ask her, what are you doing back here? You were not that big a personality in the first place, so why are you back in the villa? You have nothing to offer. And she says, well, I've seen a lot and I really need to speak to him and hear what's going on and I need a lot of answers. And Ty went, anyway, and he moved on. And I was like, thank God, we're sick and tired of her wanting answers. What answers does she want? He does not owe her anything. They were not closed off. She needs to move on. And Ty starts flirting with Abby, which is, that's Ty's default setting. He's a flirt. And then he receives a text message to say the villa and Casamo will be going head to head in a challenge. So we'll see who wins. And the winners will get a party. So the Islanders play Ronchi Racing. And was I surprised that the main villa won? No, the boys were really fast. Although it was sad to see, Scott is a shadow of himself. I feel sorry for him, even when the people were still having dialogue. You can tell he's not there. I think the issue is what happened before Casa and then the fact that he's missing Catherine. And you could tell he's a shadow of himself. I feel so sorry for him. I was very nervous at first because I wasn't sure they really liked Catherine, but it seems he does. So during the challenge, was I surprised that Catherine kissing Elam? No. I loved Whitney twerking and I loved everybody chanting her name. Ty. The way he jumped in for the kiss and he kept kissing and he kept kissing and he kept kissing. And it's like, Ty, it's just a little peck, that's all. Zach, when he had to kiss, he went and he kissed Molly, but he gave her a peck. And it's like, why? We don't need to see Zach and Molly 2.0. The first series was boring. We don't need another one. Sammy, I think Sammy is... I don't know why he's going after Gabby. Because that's not his type. Gabby is similar to Ella, and Ella has not been his type. He's always had criticism for darker skinned girls. So why suddenly is he interested in Gabby? I don't get that. Enough to suck all her toes? Hey, it is what it is. just needs to move away from Zach. Zach is not it for her. I think she could do better than Zach, but hey, it is just me. And so the main filler wins, which I'm not surprised because they did most of the challenges faster. And at times it seemed like they were just doing with the nearest person so that they could beat Casa more. So I'm happy for the guys. Hopefully this will get Scott out of his funk because it really looks very sad and very miserable. Someone needs to give Ty a PhD in flirting because that boy can flirt. Oh my god. So Abby is speaking to him, and she has to name drop, as always, that her dad is a ex-football player. He played for Chelsea, which sort of intrigues Ty, I think, to think, oh, a celebrity child. And then he starts flirting with her. And it's like, Ty, are you flirting with her because you like her, or you're flirting with her because she's a celebrity's kid? And the fact that you're saying, oh, we'll have to wait and see. And it's like, please don't be one of those. Don't be a looker. Don't be attracted to someone just because her dad is a celebrity. You don't need that. You're in a great relationship. Yes, it is toxic, but if you mess about, you might lose Ella to Uzi. And then Zach and Molly. I don't even know why we continue to see these two. They're the most boring couple in Love Island history. So they're having a conversation. Zach says he wants to pick up where they left. Molly's playing hard to get, and then Zach decides to go in for a kiss. She refuses to kiss him on the lips, but will give him her cheek, and it's like, oh, make it make sense. You can see that the producers took her out to see how she was coming across, and then put her back in, thinking that she's more or less like a student who's been given answers and is writing an exam and still failing, even though she's got the answers. And it doesn't make sense to me that she watched the show, she saw what was going on, she's come back in, and she's still as boring as she was. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense at all. That how can you still be boring when you've seen what's going on in the villa from the outside? You've seen the fan support. You've seen everything else that's going on, and you're still oh well, I didn't refuse you. I just sort of made you kiss my cheek. You have to work hard for me. It's like, I don't even get it. Maybe the producers just need to kick the two of them out because it's going to be boring for the rest of the season. There's no way they can make them winners. For what? They're the most boring couple. This was their time to shine, and they can't even shine. And then you have Uzi having a chat with Katie, and it's like, I don't know how Ella's going to feel about that, because I remember during the challenge when Whitney sort of twerked on Uzi, Ella gave a side eye. So I don't know whether Ella will be open to the idea of sharing, Uzi's attention. We'll see how that goes. And then you have Catherine chatting to Elam. Catherine needs to move on from Elam. Elam is trying to play a game. I know they're the same age, but the fact that he's telling her that, oh, I'll never tell a woman to do what I want her to do. I'll just wait for her to be herself, and then we'll take it from there. It's like, nah, I don't get it. I think Scott is it for her. I think Elam has come in after watching the show and is decided to sort of be the man that he thinks Catherine wants, and is pretending to her that I'll never tell a woman what I'm looking for in her because I don't want her to contort herself to be the person that I want. And it's like, you're using Whitney's statement. You're plagiarizing information right in front of Catherine's eyes, and Catherine is so taken. She can't see that. Why? I don't get it. So Scott is chatting with Gabby. I like Gabby. Gabby, I think, is one of the girls that has stood out for me, and you can see the guys really like her. And it's not because she's bragging about who her daddy is or who she grew up seeing. It's just the way she's talking and the way she's carrying herself. And so I'm worried because it seems Scott might like her. It seems Scott might have his head turned by Gabby, which I love. I want her to come in to stay in the main villa. So I don't mind, for example, if Gabby stays in the main villa with Scott, and then somebody brings Uzi from the villa, from Casa, and then Uzi can couple up with Gabby. Because I want Catherine to go back to Scott, because I think Scott is more emotionally mature as compared to Elam. And then Sammy is just after attention. The way he's trying to have the Casa girls, fight over him. He's agreed to share his bed with Ting. And then the girl with the dark hair comes and she says she wants to share his bed. And he's like, well, Ting had asked, but, it's up to the two of you. You can have that conversation. And it's like, why? Be a man of your word. Don't say yes to someone and then turn around and say yes to somebody else and then tell them to sort each other out. Be a man that's able to make a decision and stand by your decision instead of you jumping in between girls. I didn't like that. Whitney and Elam, Whitney was chatting to Locum, I think she said. I love Whitney. As long as she can find someone to keep her in the villa, I don't care who it is. As long as it's not one of those small little boys, Zach and whoever that is. I don't know. He could be a potential partner for her. So we'll see how that plays out. Whitney is now a shadow of herself. I wish if they were going to bring somebody back in cast, I wish they'd brought back Mehdi. It's a pity that the producers edited him to be so horrible that the fans were turned off him. And yet, when you hear people like Andre talking about Whitney and Mehdi in interviews, they say they are the couple that had the strongest connection and that really liked one another and were not toxic. So it's sad that the producers turned the fans away from Mehdi, because I would have preferred to see Mehdi come back, because Mehdi would have given us the drama as compared to whatever Molly's supposed to be giving. Jess is talking to one of the other boys with the dark hair, and he's sort of asking her, how do you feel? How are things going? Is Zach your only, connection, or are you open to getting to know other guys? And she said, well, I'm open to getting to know everyone. I haven't made a choice. I've only chatted with you once. And then the guy says to her, I want to share your bed. And it's like, but she shared her bed with Zach yesterday. So are you already kicking Zach out of her bed? That doesn't make sense. But hey, Jess and Sammy are moving mad, so anything is possible. Personally, I think there are two people who are making the most of Casa, and that's Mitch and Jess. Jess is on to the next guy. She's now cuddling in bed with Cody, and it's like, Jess, make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. Mitch is in bed, and oh my god, Mitch has finally found someone. Abby's kissing him. They make out in the morning. Everyone was actually complaining that you guys were kissing for up to 3 hours. And so it's interesting to see. And then Zachariah and Molly are back to spooning again. And it's like, what was all that drama about? What was all, oh, I won't let you kiss me on the lips. Or you have a lot of explaining to do. You need to do a lot of grafting. For what? You're already spooning him in bed. Keep quiet. Let's move on to the next challenge. So in the morning during debriefing, Sammy is wasting our time. He needs to keep quiet. Sammy reminds me of Casey from last season, but Casey was more likable than Sammy. That's the thing. So he's talking about the fact that, the girls are beautiful, but he still hasn't found a connection. Jess is still his number one. She thinks Jess is the most beautiful, and it's like, make it make sense. Jess has suddenly become the most beautiful because you've realized she's your only sort of anchor in the villa. If you don't couple up with Jess, you're most likely going home. That don't make no sense. And finally, Luca Bish should be proud of his protege. Mitch has finally kissed Abby. He's in a good place with Abby. He thinks things are going great. Mitch reminds me of Luca in the sense that Gemma was a celebrity kid. Mitch is dating a celebrity kid. Both their dads played football, and it's like, what are the odds? What are the odds? I don't get it. But I'm happy for Mitch. I was about to call him Luca. I'm happy for Mitch that at least he might have a chance to stay in the villa. I think if Abby plays the cards right and stays with Luca, they could suddenly find themselves in the finale. God knows how, but they could find themselves there. And then Scott is talking about his connection. He thinks that Gabby is the only one with the potential of turning his head, but at the moment he's really focused on Catherine. And I feel sorry for him because he's in the same boat as Ty, in the sense that they're both trying to be as sort of honest with their coupling and sort of be faithful to their partner, and yet their partners are going wild in Casa Amor. So Scott, it doesn't seem to be trying to entertain anything with anyone. He did have a conversation in bed with Gabby, sort of Gabby saying, she's mainly set on him, and so she's going to be grafting today to see how things go. And so Ty says, he's closed things off. His main focus is still on Ella. I don't know. I think the producers are telling Ty to behave himself. I think they want to be the new Ron, because there's no way, with how he was already flirting, he's going to remain loyal to Ella. I don't know. We'll see. Zachariah is happy that Molly's back, and they're going to pick up from where they started, and he sees himself going to the end with Molly. I think Zachariah thinks the only way he can stay in the villa is if he couples up with Molly. I think he thinks that Molly is fan favorite, and that's why she's come back in the villa. He doesn't realize that most of the fans don't really like Molly, and they can't stand the fact that she's back. So we'll see how that plays out. On the girls, Jess you know, is speaking about the fact that she slept with Cody. The girls are like saying that's a big deal. She thinks it's not. KD is okay with her coupling. She did share a bed, and I'm like, you need to be serious. You need to be serious with the guys in Casamo because Zachariah has already moved on. You said his head is likely to be turned, and it definitely has been turned. Whitney says she's open to getting to know the guys. She's enjoying the chats, but you know it's taking a bit longer because she's a slow burner. Just like it took 3 weeks for her and Maddie to be where they were, and Catherine actually seconds that. Catherine, on her part, talks about Ellum and says she's really enjoying her time with Ellum and she could have seen herself kissing Ellum the night before. And it's like, why? Make it make sense. We really don't need this Ellum, dude. You are in a great coupling with Scott. The fact that she says Scott cares more about people's opinions, and it's like, no, he doesn't. If he did care about people's opinions, he would have pulled them aside one by one and sort of tried to get them on his side, but he pulled everybody to the fire pit. That's embarrassing for the people that were talking behind his back, and that would have made them feel some type of way. So he doesn't care about people's opinions because he told them how he feels, he told them where he stands, and they can take it or leave it. So I don't get what Catherine is saying. Ella's head is being turned. Ella's head is being turned by Uzi. I think she's always liked Uzi, and I think though she met Ty as well before she came into the villa, I think maybe she might have known Uzi longer than she actually knew Ty, and so there's going to be competition there. I can see Ella bringing Uzi back. We'll see how that plays out. And for Catherine, I think Ella is playing a game. I think he is playing a game. I think he watched it. He reminds me of the guy from Love Island, USA, one of the one who came in with his sister, the way he played Serenity. This is what I think is happening. I think Ellum is playing games with Catherine, and I think he's going to do anything and say anything to make sure that Catherine brings him into the main villa. And then once he gets there, he's going to go wild. He's going to go back wild and treat her like crap. So I really hope Catherine is very cautious because it took a lot for her to find someone in Scott. And so the idea that she might want to sort of throw that away just because she's fine Ellum and Ellum is making her feel good and is telling her all the things she wants to hear. He's been watching her for weeks, so he knows what she likes, he knows what she doesn't like, and he's going to work his magic to make sure that she sort of picks him. He makes her breakfast, he makes her orange juice, and it's like, okay, we'll see how that goes. And the fact that she kissed him and it's like, Catherine, you could have been flirting with him. You didn't need to kiss him. You could have been flirting with him and seeing how things go. Look at what happened last season with Tanya and Shaq after she kissed the Martin, and then Martin went back wild once he came back to the main villa. You don't need that. The producers are messy. After showing Catherine kissing Ellum, they then switch over to Scott just sitting there minding his own business and waiting on Catherine. It's really sad. We'll see how that plays out. But anyway, I don't know. It was an okay episode. I wouldn't say it was a great episode, but hey, it is what it is. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.